Hi guys, welcome back. We're inside today. We have a couple of minutes just to sort any stiffness we've got going on with our spine, with our back. And we are starting in a tabletop position. So just make your way there, down on your mat, making your knees as comfortable as you want to. We want our wrists to be directly underneath our shoulders and our knees stacked underneath our hips. We're going to start circling with some cat and cows. So lifting up your chest, lifting up your tailbone, lifting up the chin, and then rounding out through the spine, tucking the tailbone under, bringing the chin towards the chest. Just going from one to the other, so lifting up the chin, lifting up the chest, lifting up the tailbone, and then getting as much curve through your spine as you can as you round out through the back. You can have your feet however you like for this, but when I lift my chest, lifting up the tailbone, I like to curl my toes under. And then I bring the tops of the feet down as I round out through the spine. Connecting with our breath, we inhale as we lift up the chest. And exhale as we round out through the spine. You can spend as long as you need in either of these poses. But it's quite nice to flow with your breath, allowing the breath to control the speed of the move. And coming into a neutral spine, now we're going to bring some lateral movement into our back, our spine. So we're going to look over one shoulder, twisting through the waist, and then looking over the other shoulder. So just twisting, this is your nosy cat as we look over to one side and over to the other. We also might want to give a little twist, a wiggle into our hips as well. So when we look over the right shoulder, you shift your hips over towards the right side. And when we look over to the left, shifting your hips over to the left. Just allowing more of a curve to come through the spine, more of a stretch into the waist. Wiggling your tail about. Nosy cat. And coming back to neutral. So working through the shoulders now into the upper back. The hands are staying down and we're just going to roll the shoulders back. We're staying in our tabletop position. We usually do this move when we are sat down. But when you have your hands pressed against either the wall or the floor, you just get that slight bit of a difference. I think you can feel the move even more like this. Getting deeper into the upper back. And then let's roll around the other way. Again, making your circles as big as you can. And holding there. So if you're comfortable in tabletop, stay here, but if you can, we want our bum to be back on our heels. You can do the move wherever you are. We're going to bring the fingertips of the right hand just behind the ear, and then we're taking the elbow out wide, twisting, looking up to the sky, and then tapping the elbow back down to the ground. We are twisting, opening up through the chest, and then tapping back down, closing back in. Always looking over the shoulder as we twist around to get even more twist. So if you are sat back on your heels, it just makes the twist a little bit tighter. But listen to your knees, listen to your hips. If you prefer to stay in tabletop, then do that. That is completely fine. And let's change to the other side. So left fingertips behind the ear, taking the elbow back, taking the shoulder back, twisting around, and closing back in. Trying to open up through the chest, twisting through the back as much as you can. Still breathing, still relaxing the rest of the body. And coming back to center. From here, let's just stretch out into a child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide apart, sitting back on your heels, stretching the arms forwards. This one is a great one for the back as it is, but we're going to add a twist in. So we're just going to move the hands and the arms over towards the left side, getting a curve throughout the body, especially feeling the stretch down the right side. Bringing your arms back to center, walking them over to the other side, so over to the right now. Getting the stretch down the left side of the body. And coming back to the middle, walking your hands back in to lift yourself back up to the tabletop position. So now we're going to reach with our right hand underneath the left, reaching as far under as we can and releasing up towards the sky. So we reach underneath the left arm and release up to the top. So when I'm teaching this in class, I always say that we're reaching under the bed to grab a cat. And then we are throwing the cat away at the top of the move. And when we reach under, we want to look at the hand because we want to make sure we're grabbing the cat. And when we throw the cat at the top of the move, we also want to look at the hand to make sure the cat is releasing. Don't worry, no cats were harmed, ever, while doing this. So we're going to do exactly the same, but at the other side. So this time the left hand reaches under the right for the cat. And then we're releasing at the top of the move, reaching underneath the bed, grabbing the cat. Releasing at the top of the move. So the reason we're reaching under the bed is because we want the left ear, the left shoulder to come down if we can as we twist around. Opening up through the chest at the top of the move. The cats from the first bed ran around to the second bed, so that's why we have 2 beds. Maybe we just have a lot of cats, or our cats are very energetic. And coming back to center, let's stretch out with our good old downward dog. So curling the toes under, lifting the hips up high, lengthening through the spine, tilting your sit bones up towards the sky, and maybe bringing your heels down on your exhale. Make sure you've got enough length through your spine, so if you need to bend your knees, then do that. We're trying to treat the back today. And resting down, let's roll ourselves over really quickly so we can lay down on our back. Arms are out by your sides, however is comfortable. We're going to cross the left leg over the right, and then we're just going to allow our knees to drop down to the left side. So the shoulders are staying down. You can shuffle about till your hips are comfortable, but we're allowing gravity to assist the stretch as we drop the knees down to the left side. The chest is staying open. Bringing your knees back up through center. Without uncrossing, we're going to drop our knees straight over towards the right side. Shuffling your hips about if you need to get deeper into your twist. Coming back to center, uncrossing your legs, lifting up the lower back, placing it back down. And crossing the legs the other way, so this time the right leg is over the left and we're dropping our knees over towards the right side first. Our shoulders are still staying down, our chest is still staying open, and we are still breathing. Feeling that release in the spine. Bringing your knees up through center and dropping them over to the other side, shuffling your hips about if you need to. Bring your knees back to the middle, uncross your legs, lift up the lower back, place it back down. Hugging the left knee in towards the chest, we're going to wrap our arms around the knee, hugging the knee down, and on your exhale, lifting up nose towards knee, rounding out through your back, releasing the head, releasing the leg, bending in your right knee, wrapping your arms around the knee, hugging the knee down, exhaling, lifting up nose towards knee, placing the head down, hugging both knees in towards your chest, hugging the knees down. Just have a little roll around, giving your back a nice little massage against the ground, against your mat. Do whatever feels best for you right now. And then on your next exhale, just lift up nose towards both knees, hugging yourself into a small little ball, reaching for the feet if you can. And then releasing, rolling yourself up to sitting, and giving yourself a big clap for a job well done. Great work, team. I hope your back is feeling amazing right now. If you enjoyed today's session, don't forget to like, subscribe, make sure your notifications are turned on. It's that little bell. And if you feel like it, drop me a little comment. I love to hear feedback from you guys. Stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you next time.